Hello. Today is April 24th, 2026. We're doing the weekly update on affordable housing in the Canton to Jasper area. I think we're going to hit down to Holly Springs and out to Waleska. Next week, I'm going to try to hit on Cartersville. It's a good opportunity for a lot of people, has a lot more access to jobs on the 75 corridor. But for today, we're going to stick with Canton and to Jasper. In Canton area, we're going to dive up to like 400,000 or so. And for the rest, we're going to try to stay below 350,000. I go a little higher in Canton because it's a little more expensive, and there's also a little bit more upside for potential for longer term, in my opinion. They also have options for ADUs, so you can get in there and rent them better. Cherokee County also does, Pickens does not. So the reason I want to add Cartersville next week, I'm going to dive in by starting with these. We have USDA loans. I want to get into this first. That is not USDA loans. That is some of the home search stuff. Let's see. I know you can't see me. All right, so we got USDA loans. I should have looked this up a little bit more ahead of time. You should research this. They have it's a government-backed loan product. It helps you get in. They want to focus on areas. Let's go to the USDA map. Did I erase all my stuff? So yeah, what they want to do, they want to focus on getting you into rural areas. So it's going to be all. So this is a bad example because my map didn't come up right. But anything if you're in Cartersville or anything in Bartow County, the line for the Canton area is somewhat right around here. Was it Highway 5? I think it is. Yeah, above Keithsburg, below Ball Ground. So if you're anything from right about here, about just south of Ball Ground North, you can get in these USDA loans. So, they weren't very popular, especially a few years ago when the market was really hot, because they do take some more time to close, and there are some extra stipulations in there. But now we are in a buyer's market. And so you have a little bit more leverage. You have some more options with that. But, in 2021, 2022, those things were, there were so many buyers out there, you didn't need to do that. You said here's some general requirements. You would be, basically under 130,000 or, 90,000 for household income. So that makes it some of these, sorry, my dog is here. My shadow, as I call him. All right, I'm going to dive into what I saw a couple things this week. I don't know if any of y'all saw this. I was trying to I was doing some due diligence on this property. And that's not working out for me. I know you can't see my big old noggin. Where did I go? Oh, here we are. I was trying to get this property. It's on Marietta. It had some really good opportunities for it with regards to zoning, but I went to go see it. It was Thursday, yesterday, and it was already gone. Or it's under contract. So that's a bummer. That's some really good investment opportunity. But we are going to start off with, these are some of my favorite ones that I saw. We're going to start off right here. I didn't get to see it, but I wanted to highlight this one. This is one of the ones I think has some great opportunity. So it is currently, I'm having some problems today. I'm glad I didn't go live. All right. So the price decreased $349 from $399. That's a crazy high price for what's it on? Is it 222, correct? Yeah. So it's still a high price. It's not a cheap house. It's on 2 acres. Let's show you where it's at. So we got downtown right here, or this is Riverstone. This is downtown Canton. Got here. It's a bit of a drive out there. It's nice if you want to be in near the city and in the country at the same time. This might be a good spot. I definitely that's a really high price. So it's not for the faint of heart. What I like about it is if you can get in there, you can easily finish off. Well, since we got that garage port area under roof, you can easily add that in for additional living space or an ADU if you want. Is that still within the city limits? I am not sure. Let's go run over here and see. Yes. Right? No, you are outside of the city. Yeah, you're outside of the city limits there, I think. Right? Am I losing my mind? Up in here. Yeah, you are outside of the city limits there. For positive and negative. There we go. Is this it? Yeah, 122. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's got some nice space. It's got some good opportunity. Got that steep hill. I wanted to go see it, and I didn't have time to. If it's still up on the market, I'll try to get you some little more insight on it next week. How about that? Let's zoom out there. This is one I did get to see. It's another. So this area is. This is at that northwest, still off that same road. This one's closer in, the Shoal Creek Road, off Floesca Road. They're doing some major work on here, from what I have heard. This thing is notorious for traffic. That brings you out to Providence Canyon and all that, and on the way out to Waleska and Reinhardt. Sorry, my dog is wanting me to take him for. I can't even say the word. To go outside. So yeah, they got I kind of like this house. I don't think it was a top quality house to begin with, but it's the thing about it, it's a little 2-1. So it's got the master bedroom. I believe this is the master bedroom, and that's the guest room. It's really nice for what it is. Wasn't a top quality house to begin with, I would say. That's virtual staging. But it's cute. It's good. I think it would be really good for someone looking for a roommate plan. Maybe going to Reinhardt. It may be good for an option to buy as a rental for your kids, to buy for your kids going to school or etc. And it'll also be really good for someone looking to downsize. It's a cute little house. I wouldn't say it was top quality, but it's well done. It's nice. It's got a tiny yard. I'm not sure what all is covered, but it's got decent space out there to where you can sit outside, and also you don't have to do a lot of yard work. So the pricing in this area, I think these are both high. I don't know. They said this one's appraised at $273. It's also you got to find the right buyer for that one. It's going to be difficult. I tried to go see this one, and they didn't let me, so I don't know if it's under contract. So they recently did a price drop at $21,000. That's big. It's another 2-1, but the square footage I think was decent enough, wasn't it? Yeah, 1,300 square foot. So there's a good chance. I wanted to see if you could get a 3rd bedroom in there. That's what I wanted to see. But all in all, I like this house. It's got potential. This one is going to put you into the city limits, I'm almost sure. And so the city's doing a lot of work to make this area more inclusive as well, to get these parks. So they're building up some more sidewalk and pedestrian friendly to get these to the parks here, which are all going to be connecting here, bringing downtown. So I think this area has some really good opportunity to increase in value. I want to see this one. I just got to figure out why they didn't want me to see that one. Now, all right, this one's a little more expensive. my favorite one of the week. It's not for everybody. See, this one just came back on market. I think it was off the market. I actually talked to the owner. It says 3 acres. I found contradicting where it said 8 acres. And I want to run this one into you. Yeah, this is, if you are a fan of the Atlanta Rhythm section, I might be dating myself here. They had a song, A Little Country in the City. This would be your prime example of this one. Did I make the map of this one? Did I? This is my personal favorite. It is, you gotta be, so you're right off the city limits. This is all that shopping right here. Like Target and any shopping you can possibly ask for is right there. Hopefully I am still on the, okay, just want to make sure I am still there. I need to check my screen back here. All right. So we're talking this road. So this is like Target and Lowe's, Best Buy, all this stuff right here. You go right off this road and it quickly turns into a tiny little road. I'm gonna take this off. It's called Old Doss, and it's this lot right here. So you go down right here, and the house is here, and then it backs up to it. I got this stuff highlighted because it's some area of concern. All right. But let's look at the house first. If I don't keep messing this one up. Here we go. So, they didn't pick the best picture to start off with, but it gives you an idea of what we're looking at. So we got a metal roof. That's good. So they also should have got better pictures. And they had, so what attracted me, they had metal roof and look like pine floors on the inside. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, correct. And the master has its own private screened-in porch, etc. You either gotta be comfortable if you want some land and be in the country and but still be really convenient, because you're also right near the hospital right there. If you know the Northside Hospital, it's right beside the Target and all that. So, and you could be in the hospital in like five minutes or so, depending on traffic there. You either gotta be comfortable with living in a little rustic, or you're gonna have to put some money into it though. There's no major concerns. The electrical panel was rough. I think you can salvage it, but you might need to replace the electrical panel. I met the owner, so there's definitely some options. I don't know about, so it's going to take a lot of work. You're going to drop a lot of money to make this like a really nice place. But if you were looking for a place in the country, but it's on 8 acres, and I think it's fine, move-in ready, you know, as long as you're not looking for anything especially fancy. But, you know, that's your driveway. That's really cool. It's like a different world. You go into a different world out there. It's got a good basement. You got plenty of storage. They didn't show pictures of, okay, there's pictures of the basement. So, you know, and it's clean, it's nice, it's perfectly fine to live in. It's not fancy. You gotta embrace the rustic on this one. But if that's what you're looking for, I think this house is a deal. Now, the concerns I had. All right, so you are right outside of the city limits, which is good for your tax money. All right, two things of concern. All right, one, you back up to this lot. This is a R40 or general commercial. As of now, they can't do really anything with it because it's landlocked the way it is. I'm not sure if the same owner owns this. If the owner of this one combines this with this, you could have a big old neighborhood coming in right here, or maybe some big old retail. Now, and the house sits like right here, so you know you're still going to be well insulated from it, but you know you got to keep that in mind. Bigger thing, which I just unhighlighted, unfortunately, future land use area. So this little road instantly goes like off the the tiny little road. So you're like in the country, like instantly, like right by the time you're here, and then you're driving all the way down here. They got a future employment center plan. So they might be looking to develop this. I'm not sure what that exactly means for one, if they're gonna buy the land, etc., or what their plans are. You might have some big stuff coming in here. So that's a thing of concern. So that's my, I usually like to start at the top and then go down because I like that song. And okay, this was another one. This one, I thought this was a really well. First of all, let's start. Oh yeah, I want to highlight. So I don't think I'm gonna need that. This one. So 340. It's not a steal. It's a good house though. It's probably the one I would most recommend of the ones I saw yesterday for most people. Now, I'll start off with my negatives and my concerns on this one. How about that one? I go to Redfin. All those places are the same, Zillow, all that. I find Redfin just has a little more information. I am not showing you my real estate agent pages because that has some info that's not supposed to be shown. That's the only reason I'm not showing you that. All right. So we were originally listed in November of last year, 360. The price changed to 350, then down to 325. Then we went up to 340, so I guess they were getting a lot of feedback. Then they went pending in March. So they went pending on March 26th, and they were relisted April 8th. My general rule, or my general assumption, I don't think it's a rule, if they come back relisted in the first 10 days, it's probably a sign that something went wrong with the inspection. If you go after the 10 days, it probably something went wrong with their financing. However, just because they went pending and then they didn't relist it until then doesn't mean it didn't go they didn't drop the contract right after that. So they don't necessarily have to relist it right then. But all in all, it was a good house though. I mean, it's been on the market for a while. So it's been on 141 days. It's got 26 favorites. I think 340 is a fair price for it. Everything looked good. There was only a couple of areas of concern. I walked up, I had a bad first impression. They don't have front gutters, and I hate these shrubs. It just keeps water and wood attracts termites to your house. And if you put it right on your house, especially that's an overhang right there, it's just a invitation to things to come and eat it. It was definitely redone. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't a cheap renovation. It definitely wasn't high quality per se either. Like a top notch. They didn't drop like hard, big money into it. But it doesn't look like a cheap renovation, and well done. All the little details were looking good. Which is one thing to look for, even the rings around the holes and the plumbing fixtures and all that. Just make sure they had that eye for detail. Everything looked good like that. It didn't look like the house had been trashed and they just redid everything. So yeah, it's a nice downstairs, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths upstairs, a nice basement, and a small parking spot. I liked it. I would recommend this one. 340 is not a bad price. So I don't like that neighborhood it's in usually, but you're at the very front of it. So you don't have to go back through it so much. So I don't mind that. I would recommend taking a look at this one. If you want to see it, let me know. And what was the next thing we saw? Oh, this one just sold. It's you should always keep a eye on what is selling. So 131 East Killian, updated, central. So it's all redone. Let's take a look at what it was. just, you should always be aware of what is selling so you know if you're getting a good deal. So we got metal roof. So I see window units, and that's obviously not the best sign. Nice, cute. Okay, it's fine. So one of the things, so if you don't like the style of this, painting isn't nearly as easy as they say, as you like give you the impression that it is. But changing the hardware on these is going to be a big first step. You're going to have to go, I think you'll get a lot of, and especially if you want to paint it too, you can make these look really good. I personally am not a fan of the look of those, especially with the hardware. The hardware makes it look dated. If you can make the hardware so better, if you make the hardware better, it'll, what is that? That's like a little loft or something, or shed. I might have been following this one as closely as I should have. Yes, that's in Sunnyside. That's definitely got some opportunity to it. Kind of surprised it went for that much. For 1,500 square feet, 360. So this area is getting really popular. That's the one I was telling you I was excited about, and it took pending on me. Sunnyside, this is going to be your best opportunity area. I'm going to get out of Canton here in just a few. This is one you should look at, especially if you have an investment plans. This is, I think, R6, RA6 zoning. So you have some options. And also, this is still city of Canton, so you can do ADUs and all that. And it's 4-bedroom, 1-bath ranch. The real value of this is the land that it's on. You got good frontage there. And you might, oh, so it just went down to 300 from 320. So you got some opportunity there. We can discuss all that if you want. Let me know. Oh, and I went to see this house and something went wrong with my... I can't tell for sure if it was them or me. And I went to see another house. What was that? It was another house that didn't show very well at all. I think I'll see it here in a little bit. All right, I'm going to close out this page. So we're going to go... That was just my favorites, what shall we say. Now this is new stuff and changes this week. Start at the top and then go down. Talking Rock. Oh, that one pending. Oh yeah, I saw that. This was a cute little house. As I said, I went over it before. I'm just gonna go over, make this thing look a lot better. Just paint this up with a nice metal roof on it. So this one just went under contract in the last few days, I think. Yeah, it was only on for 6 days. 1.6 acres up in Jasper. Decent little. So all these would be up here, would be qualified for your, and this is another one that just sold. Whispering Waters Drive. You can hear them. Oh, Whispering Waters Drive. Can you hear me? Sorry, that was, wait, it was on, let's look at the hit. You can't see. That's what I like about, Redfin. That's why I usually use them. You can find a lot more information on it. I can look at that without showing you all my stuff. That could get me in trouble, because sometimes they show, no, that's a new construction. We're not going to look at that. Active under, oh, say we went under contract with this one. So just a good idea. And then if there's anything you see or like, especially if you see something you see at this stage, you can tell them that you're interested. And if anything happens, they can be your first call. That's something I like to do. If you really want to see a property, you just tell them, and you see it's under contract, you can call the agent. Tell the agent that, like, if anything falls through with that, just let us know and come in. I think we'll try to make a full price offer before you go back on the market. Because going back on the market is kind of a pain in the butt for the seller. That's a mobile. I should have weeded that one out. I have nothing against mobile homes, but they are different from a financing point of view. And honestly, I'm not too sure of them, so I'm going to leave that, how you would do that. This is one active under contract, 180, 2-bedroom. They should. My pet peeve: just get professional pictures. If you're putting even a $180,000 house up for sale, spend $300-500, get some professional pictures. It's my pet peeve of mine. This little pet peeve of mine. So now we're getting into ball ground. It's a cute little house. And we're pretty close to downtown. I love historical homes. That was what I first started doing when I worked in 1880s to 1920s homes. It's kind of my favorite thing to do, but it is so time and money if you actually want to keep these houses looking nice. So that is not at all to code, but it's cute. That's a really nice. So you got some good land. It's a cute little place. No, I did say little, right? Yeah, 960 for a 2 1/2. It's a cute house though, and I think you're right near downtown, right? Am I right, or am I definitely right? No, you're north of downtown. I'm definitely not right, but that's where I think that road comes back in. It's kind of like its own little area. Start at the top and then go down. There. So I did that. Oh yeah. Let's see. What's this one? For sale. Is this new on market or price drop? New on market. 4-sided brick. I like brick. Original hardwood floors. What era is this? 10,000 or 1,000 square feet? I'm saying that's 60s, 50s, or 60s. Okay. Obviously, everything around there is going to have hills. Nice, well done. One of the things, it's hard to match so you see this. I kind of like what they did with the angles on those. Makes them look a little bit better. I won't get back onto my soapbox about that. But yeah, and that's a point. That's a personal preference, anyways. What I don't like is those ceilings. I won't speculate what they're made of right now, but they could be bad stuff. So you got this like style of the bathroom, which is it's nice and clean. It's fine. It just doesn't match with the vibe. So it's like it's like a different vibe. I mean, obviously, you gotta, everything has its cost, even if you're talking $1 million homes and up, everything has its ups and downs. But then you're getting just north of town. Ball Ground is also doing some work regarding their paths and all that, making it more walkable downtown. This way, yeah, I think they're running them this way, if I recall. So this one, let's take a look at this one. Mount Moriah. I noticed some weird things 3 or 4 years ago going on up there. Mount Moriah had a bunch of these homes that were about like by those big home sellers, like the big investors, America Homes.com, America Homes, or whatever. They had a bunch that went they got foreclosed on or something, but they were owned by these big companies and it didn't make sense. Why I decided not to look in there when I didn't really like the house, and it was kind of small. They weren't and the yards were small. It didn't really work out, but it seemed like there might be a lot of if you got one neighborhood with a whole bunch of owners, by one of those companies, that company has a lot of power. And if they sell everything, or if they have control of the HOA, if they have enough properties, they can a lot of control in the HOA. So that kind of sketched me out. But obviously, I like it's cool that it's right near downtown, etc. But that's just what was, or I don't know, what do you consider downtown? Keep in mind, I was a city guy till I moved up here. So I used to, when I first moved here, I'd joke about that we lived in the city of Canton. So I'm still getting used to that. So when I say downtown, there's definitely some tongue-in-cheek going on in there. What was this, 334? Okay, that one just sold. 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Where is that? Oh, okay. So again, they're doing the park, the Southside Park, right here. So that might have been a good. So listed for 335, sold for 334. See, it looks smaller than a 3.2. It doesn't say the size. What is the $800 a year for HOA? What do you get with it? So there's different kinds of HOAs. Some of them have more power than others. Okay, so I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those little. Okay, no, they got real stairs. I kind of like those areas. It's a good place to have your kids, especially little kids, play, put a computer desk, etc., to where they're part of the living room, but not. I really wanted something like that, and for myself, but I don't have that. I wish I did. I'm gonna move just for that. Active under contract, so this one just went under contract. So now we're gonna go further down to Providence Point. This is some good affordable area. They usually have smaller yards down here, but you get nice houses. If you're more concerned about the house and the yard, this Providence Point is gonna be a really good spot to look. You are officially in the city of Canton. If you're down here, you are outside of the city of Canton. You are officially in the city of Canton here. And then, of course, you have right here is your Publix, and there's a Kroger. There's a Walmart. So you're really convenient to a bunch of stuff. But these two just sold. All right. So let's go on to the next. Price drops and new to the market. So these ones that price drops, so you might be want to time this one. This is what I call I search for changes in the market. So they have price changes or anything that comes back on market after coming back off. So what did they do here? 174 Cherokee. They've dropped it from 175 to 170. Let's see. Welcome to 174 Cherokee Avenue. This is up in Nelson. So that is, just north of Ball Ground. Excuse me. So you can get your USDA loan here if you qualify. Welcome to 174. Off easy access to two generous bedrooms and 2 full baths. Okay, 1,200 square foot. So, excuse me. There's a good chance you can fit a bed. Usually, if you're over 1,000 square foot, you can easily get a 3.1. If you're getting a 3.2, it's gonna be really hard. In 1,000 square foot, you're going to be making some, if you want a living room and a dining area as well. Excuse me. 1,200 square foot. Oh, that's a really small 0.12 acres. Is that real? Okay, first thing I see, look at this roof. We might have, so I'm going to assume this is, this is probably going to be around 1900s construction. You can tell by the roof of the house. I'm going to say 1880s, maybe, as far back as. This is when they started doing that. I'm going to dive into this one a little closer. So some things just settle over time, and other things are problems. So they haven't have the best maintenance. You can tell by this. That might be rot. Needs pressure wash. You got these issues right here. All these, these houses were generally, were what we call mill houses. These were made for the workers. They were never fancy houses, even at the time. So, and just the fact that they're still here is usually a sign. They might have had something a little bit more ornate over time. One thing that would be cool to do with these, accent this area, because you got everything coming up. I don't know if you can see it. It's really cool right there. You can add a cool little, even paint this, add a little something else, gives a whole lot more curb appeal. And they always did these with those as well. That little side porch area. That was obviously added on afterwards. That is, I'd want to try to blend that one back in somehow. Put back into the background. So if this is, I assume this is your lot, your yard behind it. And that 0.12 acres is wrong. Because that 0.12 acres would literally just be about the house. Shh. It's nice. Pretty decent yard. So if they're showing the yard like that, I assume that's included. So we got central air. Yeah, you can see. So a lot of this was originally like a little back porch area too. You can also tell by that. Chintzy. This is all added on later. You got central air there, so that's good. Pretty good, decent quality deck. Slopes off to the right. So obviously these are not your original floors. Yeah, usually these were designed as like, kind of 4-room houses. You had to put one room. You walked in, it was like the living room, then you went to the kitchen, then it was like a bedroom and a bedroom. They were, as I said, like 4-room houses. You can see, and they split that up right there. And they squeeze the kitchen into the middle on this one. So that's a really nice kitchen. So I'm kind of surprised why they didn't make that thing look better from the outside. And why didn't they change that carpet? Oh, that's a window unit, so I assume this is that other building. But yeah, I mean, what were we talking, 170? And what are the other options for 170? Because I mean, look at this right down the street. This is it says ball ground, but it's not ball ground. Is it? I guess it is. Disregard everything I have to say. So there's probably some issues with that other one. This pretty remodeled home sits on an oversized lot of 1.3 acres and beautiful. So in days on market 61, so we had a price drop. Yep, they dropped to 20,000. Woohoo! So, is it ever a good time or bad time to buy? It always depends. It's never either. It depends on your situation in the house at the time and what your plans are. And so, if you are looking, unless you want to stay for at least 5 years, I'd definitely question your financial plans on that one, because you're probably not gonna make much money if you're planning to move within 5 years. And so the money you make at the time, you make your money at the time of buying. If you're making it's another one of those. Let's look at this one. See, you got the similar, you got the peak roof. They actually come in through here, and they got that side entrance as well. But a lot of these were before they had like indoor plumbing. So when I had a house like this, we actually walked in through made it walled out like that. We actually walked in through the side, and that's a nice entry area. And we made that room the coat closet. Then you walk in, because you walk in, it's a little bit small, and you're thinking. Then I bolted the ceilings all up right there. It's really cool. And see how you just paint that better. You can really add some investor special. I love those keywords, but it's gonna take a lot of work. I'm telling you, yeah, this is 1880s to 1920s, all day, every day. In my opinion, yeah, they're usually about 1,200 square foot. It's a 0.2 acres. That's kind of small. Let's take a look. Let's see how much of an investor special this thing is. Okay. We're looking promising for investor special, but price. Okay, this does not have curb appeal. It's showing its ugly side to the street. Not ugly side, but the renovated. That's not what it looked like when it was new. If this was front side, I'd say that's a lot cuter of a house. But especially it looks like you're going to be coming from here. You're not going to see what this looks like till you're looking in your rearview mirror or you're leaving. Yeah, this is going to take a whole lot of work. I don't know, at that price. I got itchy nose today. Did they say someone's thinking of me? It says 1940. I'd be surprised. Do 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 do. Okay, cool. I like this. I always like those side porches. Let's see, what do we got? We got a price decrease of $25,000. See, we are in a buyer's market. Interest rates are not low right now. No secret about that one. Really, honestly, I moved about 2 years ago. My mortgage rate's about the same as what you'd get today anyways. Probably lower. Mine's probably higher. And I'd missed my opportunity to refinance when it was low. So this is, okay, the city center. So this is more the downtown, 1.27 acres. So let's see if this would be the one where they're doing like the walk paths, etc. Yeah, see, I think they were doing it like out this way. So this might be a good opportunity to jump in. The greenways, I think is what they were calling them. All right, so this is a much better quality built house. This is probably later to begin with. I think this would be the 40s. It says 1950. That's probably correct. I don't think that other one was correct though. But you can see the difference in the style. Seeing similar windows and stuff, but just especially anything built like shortly in the. So I'm gonna go back to the Depression, or right before the Depression. Like if you get an area like there wasn't a whole lot of building in the Civil War, especially in the South. We got a whole lot of new stuff after 1865. It did a lot of construction, 1880s to 1910s or so, especially like with the worker and mill stuff. Especially if you're in town, like in a bigger city, or even nicer parts of town. In that more that city aspect, that's when you get your Victorian stuff, leading up to the the early 1900s up to the Depression. And I worked in areas in Virginia where you could literally they built one side of a road in the 20s when everything was going great, and then they built the other side of the road in the 1940s. So there was like a big difference of which side of the road you were on, what your value was worth, and you could see it just because it was these really high end, like 1920s. Then everything went down until there wasn't too much building before even the World War II. Then after World War II, you got a lot of building. That was like mainly in the 40s. Then you got your ranch homes that kind of came up when everyone started moving out to the suburbs. You got a lot of those four-sided bricks in the 50s and the 60s, etc. The smaller places that were more... I don't know, was that the GI Bill? No, that was the school thing. There's a lot of government funding and stuff going on. Should I continue what I was talking about? Let me continue. So yeah, then you in the 70s is when you get a lot of those like split levels. And the 80s is when you start getting the rise of like the modern homes, like a lot of the neighborhoods you see. So when, especially in the Atlanta area, you start growing a lot in the 80s. That's when you can see a lot of growth and more modern style houses. And of course, everything, then you had your McMansions that peaked in your pre-2008. Now, I think we're going back to smaller. I hope so. So what is the price? So yeah, it's a cool location. What price were they asking? It's nice. It definitely doesn't show the best, or they could have just cleaned up a little bit better. Okay. Another one, 3, 4. Let's take a look at this one. I haven't seen this one. I don't think. I like that. This is unique. Is this newer? Yeah, 2019. 0.06. That's either wrong or you're in a PUD, a planned something community, whatever. That's cute. So I think location is going to say a lot, this one. So yeah, we're in the downtown-y area in the city center. I like Ball Ground. I personally wanted to go up to Ball Ground, but I wasn't the only one involved in the decision. I am in the city of Canton. This is all nice. Yeah, this is a circa night. So why would they have to have that? Okay, they just did split units in every room. Okay. If that's your plan going in, it's not too bad. I was going to check their AC plan. I was thinking there's something wrong. I don't like those. Well, actually, I like those in general. They are awesome. However, doing your whole house with them, they're called mini splits. I don't like them because they're an ugly in every room. It's not. So this is nice. 215. So we're seeing the same area. We already looked at that one. Did I jump ahead? Bad me. I'm breaking my rules today. Oh yeah. I like this one. It went down 15,000. Yeah, 32, 63, 1,500 square feet. Yeah, I remember this one. What could we do to make that? I mean, it's nice, and just something seems incongruent or something. And first of all, I would do is, this is probably pressure treated. It's going to be hard to stain and all that, but just those colors mismatch. It kind of just that little bit throws everything off. I would try to maybe paint those fascias or something. I don't know, it just kind of looks, it looks like it could be a lot better looking pretty easy. Not sure. See, there's just those colors mismatch. Well, first of all, I don't like that. I'd take that off probably to begin, all in all. And actually, I don't like it a whole lot, especially in Atlanta. You'll see like when they do this all black. I think that would be cool if that was black and maybe some black gutters. Yeah, what I would do, let's take a step back. If I don't mess this up again. What I would do, so I would take out this whole railing thing. I would make this all black and make that, because if you want to accent this is like the star of your house right there. So you want to accent that, make it black. That's going to make all that black, make that there. That's what I would recommend. You go, because the black matches that plate too. I'd get a whatever color matches that plate. That metal plate right there. Yeah, see it, and you can also match that metal in your door color. Just go right there. I think it's gonna make your house pop a whole lot better. I think we got. I'm all for making your house your own. But just remember, it's going to cost you at some point. I'm not a non-drinker, but I don't really drink much. And just having that there, so it's part of... See, it's kind of... They made it part of their core part of their living room. Like, in order to take that out, not only are you going to get rid of that, you got to repair that. So you're going to have to get someone in there, then you got to match the cabinets in front and do something. You know, that's going to be a significant thing. Maybe want to... So that says, as a warning, that's in the kitchen. Oh, man. It's awesome if you live there and that's what you really want. I'm not telling you not to do that. You just got to be aware that that's going to cost you. Because if you're looking for someone who really wants a double beer keg thing, because you probably have all the coolers and stuff in there. I don't know if they have they have coolers in there. They have all that type of stuff there too. I don't know. Maybe you can. This house is kind of weird. It's kind of. I like the terrain. It doesn't have a thing over it though. Great. This house is confusing. It's like such a this mismatch. Yeah, take off that. You can make it so much better. Oh yeah, the ceiling. Yeah, match all that black with that metal on that. You're gonna be seeing. So if you match that black out there, it's gonna bring out all this, the doors. Even you got some there. You want to bring all that out. I'm telling you, it's going to pop 1,000,000 times better. You paint that black. Yeah, I don't know about that. I want to paint that black. I'm telling you. I'm not usually a big fan of that style. But that's what we're looking at. So 350, okay, that's up in Keithsburg. That's going to be just, yeah, so now we're getting into the city. It's cute, though. I'd say that's probably like an awesome house for the right person. But finding that right person is going to be difficult. George Gray Lane, down $10,000. Look at that curb appeal. We are rocking and rolling again. 108 days on market. I think we know why. 85. I'm already going to tell you, you need some better pictures. 1,200 square feet. Decent. What's the price? What's the price? $270. Yeah, sounds a little rich. Yeah, I don't have on here. Let's see. Not yet, puppy. We usually go on our morning WALK about now. Alright, so what does this house have that makes it priced that high? I mean, what is going on here? Prime location. Okay, so you're talking about the views. So we're gonna remodeling already started. Oh, I hate that. Oh, so I was about to make fun of all their cheap flooring right there and the duct tape. And like, look, that's just like peel and stick stuff. Oh, I have an idea. Let's pick apart their renovation then. It doesn't look like they did any renovation. Pressure wash. Get the mud off the side of your house. Get the cars out of there. It says buy your house. So this is an investor, I assume. We buy your house, we'll buy yours. Galley kitchen. No one likes these anymore. If you can at all avoid that. And this thing needs like a renovation. When they say that, I mean, you know. What could we do? So where is this door? Let's take a step back. That's our... Let's try to figure out all right. We're gonna dive back. We're gonna dive into this house a little bit better. So here we got, I want to figure out what they're doing with it. So we got living room, front door. Where's our back door? Okay, the back door to the laundry. So this is, okay, they got the primary here. They got primary bedroom, sorry. Bedroom, bath, dining area, kitchen. Okay, so let's look at this a little bit closer. There's our front door. Come in. So where does that go? Oh, that's the downstairs, I'm assuming. So in order, let's see what the downstairs looks like. Because I think what you should probably do is just cut out that access to the downstairs and open this up completely. But because I'm getting the feeling the downstairs, the basement ain't gonna be all that. Great to begin with itself. So, they're pricing this as a renovation. I could definitely say they started renovations. Okay, they got a river runs through it. Okay, now we're getting to some selling points. If I was them, I would start it off with that. I don't know what they were thinking, man. So, yes, I would open that whole thing up. Make that living room open up. Yeah, that going downstairs is a nasty thing. That way you don't have to have like that long galley kitchen. Man, even at $279, man, you're gonna be dropping even minimum $50,000 to get that thing, and you're probably easily gonna be 75, depending on what you want to do with it. And it's a pretty big. You're gonna be doing a lot of demo because I assume the work that they're doing on that house is not the stuff you probably want in your house. Yeah, it's not a crawl. You don't need access down there. You got any questions like that? That's my number one. That's my favorite. I like the creative aspect of doing that. We went over that house already. Oh yeah. I picked apart this one, making fun of its listing. And that picture. So what I assume, I've looked into this a little bit, was that this was a rental property, and they just took the pictures of it in there. It's like literally how can you have, I'd say, a cheap dark picture of the front, nothing in there, no lights on. It looks like, not even like a nice iPhone or smartphone. Then it's like, and then you got this light that's like blaring light on there. No, not yet, puppy. And like at least close the cabinets, please. Is this the one that had the? Looking at one that had like the toilet cleaner brush right there. Like, seems like this would be it. Just given the. No. I have a feeling if you want that one, just wait, take some time. Actually, it's a good location. Oh yeah. Okay, now I know. This area, you've got a lot of cut-through traffic to the high school. I heard complaints about people that live there. A lot of people go through here and they just run through there to get to the high school better to avoid this whole section. But with the high school going, I assume that won't be much of an issue. Let's try to wrap this up as soon as I can. There's that Marietta Road. We looked at that one already. Okay, this is off that prominence point. Okay, so these are a couple new ones. Remember I showed you the ones that went for that's sold. These are on the market. This isn't that good. If you're looking, they usually have small yards. They are, they are a good value area. I would recommend. You're good near a lot of stuff. It's a lot of families in there. None of them have yards. Maybe that may help you make friends. This one looks like it might have a yard. I'm really going through some houses. Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves is the textured ceilings. I mean, the lightly ones, I don't mind at all, really. If it's lightly, that seems like a little of aggressive one right there. Yeah, these are all pretty nice modern houses. I've never seen anything really sketchy about them. Really, they're just kind of small. It's a little tight, packed area. It's a decent yard. Yeah, you can definitely kick some soccer balls out there a little bit. Yeah, and they got the playgrounds and the pool and stuff. I think it's a very good place for young couples specifically, if that's what you were looking for. And let's look at, did I look at Ilex? Okay, I looked at that other one. Obviously not the best curb appeal, but you're going down in price. I just did a price drop. Let's go back to, so this one's a little bit more. 1390 square feet. So this one looks like same neighborhood. Why is this one priced more? Maybe they just did a price drop because that other one came listed. Maybe it's a different neighborhood. And a backyard that truly sets it apart. So maybe that's the... Let's give them a shot because it's not their curb appeal. Definitely a nicer yard. I don't know how much bigger it is, but it's definitely nicer. Is this one nicer to you? I guess it depends. So a lot of things you can't. Okay, no, that's a much bigger yard. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of things you can't really tell till you see places in person. And I have one last little section. So yeah, we're almost to, oh, I did have a Holly Springs. But okay, so yeah. I like when they don't start off with the exterior, but it also makes me nervous. About a mile from the, let's see, where are we at? Okay, yeah, so you can walk to the downtown thing. that whole big thing they're doing down there, which I'm still not exactly sure of the. It's a big thing going on right there. If you want to check it out, check out Holly Springs downtown. They got a big thing going on there. So, it's a nice kitchen. Nah, that's why they started off with the kitchen picture. That makes you nervous. Especially in the city, like you know, it's a sign it's a condo, but it's like, because you want to snag people with your first picture. What's your first picture? Yeah, I'm glad you didn't make it that. What? Hoo-hoo! Alright, let's... What are they asking? 324? Alright, so let's see, what can we do to make this... So first of all, we gotta do something with that. And we gotta do something with that. Oh, okay, well. You can make it a lot better just by making it... Don't... What? Alright. I'm not so sure about this support. I would definitely want that inspected. Oh, they got their AC unit there. Well, first of all, what you can do, just to make this, you can build a little wall right there. You got your AC unit. Oh no, you got your AC unit there. That's gonna make it hard because that thing needs to breathe. What we can do is at least do like from here. What I would do is build a little wall like here and just try to cover up that, make it look like siding there. Oh, why did they do that? What was their thinking? At least you know where the stairs are. We want everybody to know where our stairs are. So, yeah, the roof on this is a little sketchy. Let me clean this up. I think actually, if you paint this, if you paint that thing on the side and just put a new roof on it, I think it's going to make it look a lot better. See, or just going, there's nothing wrong with the roof. I love metal roofs. You'll probably hear that a whole lot. I love metal roofs. They're my favorite. Yeah, paint that. I think I paint that just a nice yellow too. I think that would make that look a lot better, and just maybe even clean that up. Replace a couple pieces. But yeah, that's that. I get rid of that if you can. That's not helping you either. Because this is the front of your house. Front of your house is, I mean, it's like it gets worse and worse. But you know what they say? No. Opinions are like... Alright, so what could we do here? So we definitely need some... I would put some rugs, colorful rugs, and paint the walls. I think it'll definitely help a whole lot without doing too much. Now we're getting back to the nice part. That's why they put the picture of that there. Oh, it's not up to me to question their decorating. Oh, there's that little shed. Yeah, that thing is... So maybe you could do, so that thing's a garage, that side thing is a garage, maybe you can make it like a ADU or something, or have like a apartment up top, rent it out to your college age kid or something like that. Oh god, okay, so this is the back, that's a little shed, there's your, whatever that is. I want to see how these things access to each other. I got more questions than anything. I said a lot of the when I'm house shopping, I just have questions and questions and questions. That's how I dig down into this. Okay, so I'm done with all the. Let's just. Oh, this is so there are for the USDA there are income requirements. You have to have the area because it's for rural housing. Obviously, you can't do that in the city. Single family housing guaranteed loan. You can look into that. I'm not a mortgage lender. That was the sketchy thing about the Canton. Oh, remember that big old house I like? Oh yeah, this was just saying where I saw it was 8 acres. That's my favorite house. But you got to drop some money into it or be ready to live rural. This would be my personal choice. I love the land, but I definitely want to look into more like about who owns this lot, etc. Maybe we can see. It's going to be some type of. Okay, so yeah, this place already owns that. So they could maybe have a thing going back there. How about this next one over? So see, this is Northside Hospital right there, owns that thing. So if that Northside Hospital were to buy that from them, they could go all the way back. So what is Northside Hospital's plans with that? This is gonna be the UAP Canton. So that's what you want to watch out for. Always look out for those little things, but I think that is it. So this is hopefully next week I'm gonna try to put on Cartersville, testing for Cartersville on here, because you also do that out there. I'll try to highlight some houses out there. We're gonna try to the affordable houses, so that if you're looking for a house for yourself to move into, or investment properties, that's what my background is from, investments. These are gonna be your primary, because you're gonna have value add opportunities. But say bye bye. Thanks.